back up again. It's a bank. It's just their advertisement saying that resilience is going to...
A little more because you're multiplying the number of horses that you're running against. Normally, in a race going that distance, you'd have a 10-horse field. Now you've got a 20-horse field. So you're increasing it times 2. And so, it's all about the trip. We've seen some horses that had a perfect trip and won the Derby, and maybe they really weren't,
Well, the last 2 years, the Derby winners has not won another race.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
Is that unusual?
No, I think sometimes that's their big day.
I hear you. But can trainers do anything to make things less influenced by luck?
Once you give the jock a leg up and put him on the racetrack, it's really up to them. You can draw out all the plans you want, but everything changes when the gate opens. You'll never, it's very difficult to map out, what kind of trip you're going to have to take in the Derby. You just, unless you've got a horse with an extreme amount of speed and you want them up close, you can kind of dictate that if they break well. But other than that, I think, it's really up to the jocks. I think sometimes you're probably, in the Derby, you're probably doing a disservice to yourself by giving too many instructions. You can't draw out a roadmap.
Just talking about horses that won the Derby and go on to win. You don't really need to win anything else, but how disappointing was it that Country House was not able to race again and maybe show the kind of horse he was?
Very disappointing, because I thought he would have been very good as an older horse. I thought he was just probably maturing. Now, he needed a rest after the Derby. There was no doubt about that, but I was looking forward to the following year. And things went wrong when he was at the farm, and he was never able to even make it back into training.
You aren't get them to the Derby at all costs. You don't push your 2-year-olds, increase the chances of getting horses to the Derby, because you're thinking 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and stuff like that. What about with a horse like Resilience? Did he just
came into
showed up
his own?
and
if they look good and they're training well, and we're certainly willing to go on with them, but so many horses, they'll tell you that they need a rest, and it's a very vulnerable age, really, because they're still maturing, and we're start training them a little harder, and some of them, even though they've run 2 or 3 times as a 2-year-old, sometimes it's very difficult to keep them going without a rest in between those initial races and then starting back. So it's and we're finding that out all the time. I've always said that the 3-year-olds at this stage of their development are they're a little more vulnerable to injuries than they would be as if they were a 4-year-old or 5-year-old. Some of the same things that happen to him.
So with Resilience, even as you're giving him an opportunity to earn his way in the Derby, which he did, you're also, though, thinking ahead to 2025, maybe even to...
Well, yeah, I'm not thinking of that today. I'm thinking about right now. It's next week and next Saturday, and then we'll just take it one at a time.